Hey everyone, as you may already be aware, we just launched the Shadowcasters Network, of which this show is a part of. Now, we've got a lot of things in store for everyone with this great undertaking. We're going to be creating lots of online resources and tools to help you play Shadowrun. We're in the process of organizing and launching an online venue for official Shadowrun missions play. And of course, we're working really hard to make better and better entertainment content like we currently do. In order to get this going for the long term, we're asking for our fans to help us by checking out the fundraiser we're currently doing right now. We are trying to raise enough money to keep us going for the first year. Before Gen Con in mid-August is when we want to get that raised by. If you want to help out, head on over to the Shadowcasters Network website, that's shadowcasters.network, and click on our fundraiser widget there on the sidebar on the main page. You can give any amount really helps, but there are some perks on there. If you'd like to check those out, click on that and you can purchase those. Otherwise, like I said, any amount is really helpful. Anyway, check it out. If you're excited about the great stuff we're planning for the future, just like we are, then consider helping us and help us keep going for our first year. Now, without further ado, on with the show. This show is part of the Shadowcasters Network. For more shows about Shadowrun and tabletop gaming, check out our website at shadowcasters.network. You're listening to the Complex Action Actual Play Podcast. Wata and Leeroy bond over some boring bodyguard work while Icefyre calls Throwback in for some mysterious questioning about his team. And it seems like Elric might be reliving his teen years by experimenting with some more drugs while ditching his parents. Now please enjoy episode 45, Beers and Protesting.
Elric was strongly going to suggest taking a good chunk of time off because he really wants to spend some time and initiate.
You can, kid. I need money, so I can't be taking more than 2 weeks. Is actually a really long time. I'm not gonna make my payment this month.
Well, if you can find a job.
Oh, I'll find a job.
Payment to who?
I kind of owe my girlfriend like a lot of money. My ex-girlfriend a lot of money.
Yeah. Okay, so you have a girlfriend and an ex-girlfriend?
No, they're the same person.
Oh, because you were talking about to Z-Trip, and I was thinking, wow, there's a lot that I don't know about you.
I think that's kind of the point, right? Isn't anonymity a big thing with you people?
Yeah, I guess.
What do you mean, you people?
I'm still new to this. Hey, Payday! So what are you going to do now that Aeon's on her own? Are you going to find a new girlfriend?
She's not my girlfriend, for
well,
one.
I know. That's why I'm asking. You're clearly single now. She's off on her own, so...
She was never my girlfriend. She's not off on her own. We're partners, like we always have been.
Aeon shows up in AR. I'm right here.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's really more like a father-daughter relationship, Elric says, in support.
It's not like a father-daughter relationship. It's not a girlfriend relationship.
Also, why is her persona more human and you're a dwarf? Shouldn't you be, like, with another dwarf?
What are you... Oh, just when I was starting to like you.
I mean, diversity's fine. I totally understand. My ex-girlfriend's an Arataki, so I get it. I'm just curious.
I look over to Aeon. You can give me help now.
Honestly, I don't think it's such a bad idea.
What?
Finding someone for you.
Are we trying to get him a date?
That's a terrible idea.
Why not? It would be good for you.
The last time I almost had a date, they had to kill me.
Well, we don't find someone who tries to kill you.
But
there's a vetting process to consider.
But wait a minute, we only just moved in together, and you're trying to find someone else for him?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you guys were a thing.
You're not
my god, I'm so embarrassed.
Elric just... He's totally bad at the straight
okay.
face. He's just got a big shit-eating grin.
We are not a thing.
You guys really moved fast. Haven't you only known each other for a couple months?
I mean, Stretch is kind of like a dwarf, but we are not a thing.
And I didn't mean someone to move in with you.
Just no.
It's not a thing. I didn't mean to like trivialize it. You know, it's more than that. When you really love someone, you want to live with them. That's a big commitment. You guys are great. You gonna get matching rings?
I do not love Stretch.
I look over at Payday.
Stretch helps me pay the rent. That's what he does.
He just can't be the one to say it first.
Yeah, he seems like he's kind of grumpy. Is he better when he's at home? Is he always on uppers?
I try to
Mainly,
be
I just try to stay out of his way, or help him when he's working on tech stuff.
You know, Wata, get out of here. Go find a job. Get us a job. Stretch, get away from me. I'm going to go work on the trucks.
How long will it take Elric to initiate?
I think like 30 days.
What kind of initiation were you planning on doing? I did have something that was going to happen before 30 days.
Well, I didn't have a specific ordeal in mind, just probably hang around and meditate and spend the karma. I guess Elric is basically just then spending a lot of time to himself, meditating, thinking on his magic, just trying out some different, doing some different magical research in his library, but generally working towards initiating. So I'll get as far as I can before the next time we have to do something. I think it's okay for me to leave my lodge during the initiation process. I don't think I have to stay there the whole time.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think you have to, yeah.
You
All
just
right.
got to do it like Wizard of Oz with a different system. And
Yeah,
you
I
were
have-
there, and you were there.
No problem getting hit on my 12 dice for Arcana.
Roll it. Let's find out.
Oh, I did. I got like 3 hits.
Isn't as a extended test, don't extra hits beyond the threshold reduce the time?
Nah, not at all.
Nope. It's an interval, so it basically goes by each time you have to make a test.
I always forget Wada's ex-girlfriend's name. What's her name?
Naratasha.
Naratasha.
That's
How
terrible.
could I forget that? Naratasha the Narataki.
But,
That's really bad. I'm super disappointed in you.
Yeah.
It's amazing. What are you guys talking about? No sense of humor.
Take her karma.
Well, Wada gets a phone call from Naratasha.
What time of day is it?
It's actually early morning.
What? Are you drunk? Why am I awake? Hello?
Hey, I'm glad you're awake. I need you to do something for me.
I'm not coming over to wash your feet again.
Look, it's nothing like that. I need something happened at work. We had somebody who's going to be manning a booth over at a demonstration that's happening at the State House, and I need you to fill in because it's not going to happen. And well, they're not manning the booth. It's basically someone needs to be there to make sure that somebody doesn't get hurt. Seems right up your alley.
Okay. All right. I'll be there. I'll drop off my payment too.
Yeah, that'd be great. You're not getting paid for this. Just so I don't want there to be any misunderstanding. I just need you to do it.
Yeah, I assumed as much. Okay, give me the address.
It's the State House, the capital of this state.
What's the capital of the state?
Oh God, I forgot. You're new here. She gives you the address.
Okay, cool. All right. Do I
It's
need to
actually-
dress up?
Just look how you look. Look like just dress the way you dress.
All right, cool. Casual or business?
I really don't. I've got stuff to do. Business is fine.
All right, cool. Thanks.
She hangs up.
Just back to sleep, straight back to sleep.
It's the State House actually isn't far from where you are, but she wanted you to be there in about an hour.
Oh, damn it. All right. And she crawls out of bed. Takes a lucky cold shower if the water's working.
Yep, it sure is. When you get there, there's a booth that's set up that Evo Corporation has set up. It's sort of like a recruitment booth, like you would set up at a job fair, except it's not set up at a job fair. It's set up at a Humanist rally.
Oh, this is so awkward.
And there are a bunch of protesters there who are at the Humanist rally, counter protesting. And so Evo's there sort of like as trying to recruit people, showing that they are an open corporation, and they're very different from these humanist people trying to appeal to those counter protesters, you know?
Mass spam to Leroy. Bring me beer. It's too early in the morning. Wake
How
up.
many is mass?
All of them that you can fit in your coat.
No, I was asking how many text messages I got.
Oh, 4.
The rally that's happening is sort of like a rally on the State House grounds. You've got a bunch of people talking and speaking. They're speaking about a new law that's trying to be put in place. Well, I thought I heard a noise. 1 second. Yeah. Okay. So the humanist people are speaking at a rally at the State House in support of a bill that would allow employers to hire and fire for reasons of like tone and theme and branding of their business, which is basically kind of like what a lot of these counter protesters are saying is like a sort of like wedge and gateway into discriminatory hiring and firing practices and stuff like that against metahumans, and just giving them a way. And they say it's
legal racism.
Right. That's what they're trying everything. So there's just a big protest about it, and it's just a big hot button issue in politics right now in the city and state.
So probably about an hour after that fourth text message, Leroy will roll up on his motorcycle, which is probably the loud, obnoxious kind of motorcycle.
Yeah.
Oh man, you're awesome. Look at this. It's so boring.
This doesn't seem like a good idea.
Yeah, well, like, I figured either you would blend in and no one would notice you, or some shit would go down and we could punch people.
Looking around real quick, how many cops are here?
There's quite a few. They're like, the road was blocked off. You weren't able to pull right up with your bike, but there's roadblocks to block off the area. There's people, Lone Star officers walking around and checking things out, and you can't look in any one direction without seeing at least one.
I don't know about you, but I don't think I was planning on getting arrested today.
No, but it's so boring.
He'll put a case of Soywiser on the counter or whatever.
Excuse me, you can't put that here. We're trying to encourage recruiting of employees here. We wouldn't want to give the wrong image.
Wait, who are you? And why am I here if you're here?
Look, I'm working the booth. I'm doing the recruiting. You see all these people who are... These things can get violent. You're just here to make sure that I don't get hurt.
What metatype is this guy?
What was that?
What metatype is this guy?
Oh, he's an elf.
Okay.
Okay, so if I don't really need to be in the booth, we're gonna take our beer and go over there, but I'll be around in case something happens.
I thought I think the point is for you to be a physical presence.
Yeah, I'm orange. I'm not hard to miss. It's like a road cone. So I think they'll figure out that I'm with you.
Road cone.
There's a street name.
Just call her RC.
Please
No.
never forget that she's a road cone.
I'm very glad I didn't hear that. I don't think Elric could use that as a street name anyway.
Throwback is going to get a phone call from Icefyre.
All right. Pick it up.
Well, it's from one of Icefyre's, people.
No. Still pick
Right.
it up.
You guys aren't on that close of terms quite yet.
No, but you said it.
Just the guy I got to shoot later at some point.
Oh, we're totally going to murder him.
Okay, just wanted to make sure which guy with the terrible name I had to murder.
It says, Throwback, Icefyre wants to talk to you.
Okay. When? Now?
Yeah.
Now. Okay, now. I'll be there. And then I'll hang up and probably hurry over to the compound.
As you're walking around Wata and Leeroy, you notice some kind of buff, burly-looking humanist types, whatever that means, walk up to the booth that you're supposed to be walking in, they just start loudly asking inane questions to the person there who is who's starting to look a little intimidated.
I have to go deal with that. You want to come be large and brooding?
He's actually going to crack a smile. Sure thing, RC. You can definitely smell the alcohol in his breath.
All right, cool. So Wada's gonna go up to Smiley, definitely having like, "Hey guys, what's up? Are you looking to get into some recruiting?"
What
Evo's
the
always
frag is this thing?
My name is Oceane.
See, this is what I'm talking about. And he's talking to the booth owner or the person behind the booth now. This is what I'm talking about. Your corporation comes in here and starts changing things, and we can't have this kind of whatever. We were doing just fine before Evo and all these other giant mega corporations came into town. We were running things. We've been around here. This has been a city in South Carolina for hundreds of years, and I don't know where you guys come off just deciding you're going to come in here and change the way we do things.
Yeah, it's probably for the better. You guys are kind of rude.
Look, I'm not talking to you right now, all right?
Well, that's fine, but now we get this awkward silence.
Just raise an eyebrow.
Who's your friend? You're like an elf without a... What happened to the top of your ears there, elf boy?
Not very smart, are you? A little low on the logic side?
Says, I don't know. Look, I've been trying to have a conversation here with this man here, and you just come on up and saunter up here and try to get in the middle of my business.
I'm not really trying to get into business. See, I'm in business with this guy, and I'm helping do recruiting. So if you're interested, we could totally give you an application. You could sign up. I'm sure you'll get some awesome vetting from Evo. Maybe a lovely conversation with a Minotaur who's probably in HR.
A Minotaur? What the frag's a Minotaur? Is that one of those giant bull things?
Yeah, sort of. Less fur.
Look, I have no desire to be employed with a bunch of hooligan freaks like you, all right?
Oh, well, see, this is a recruitment booth. It's for hiring and whatnot, so I'm not really sure why you're here. Is there something? Are you lost? Do you need help? I can have my friend escort you somewhere if you're lost. He's very helpful.
Sourpuss, like resting bitch face.
Man, I don't got
See,
time
look
for
how
this.
helpful he is.
I don't got time for this. You guys, he just huffs and leaves.
Bye. Have a nice day.
He shoots you the bird on his way out.
Just the one dude.
But it was him and a friend, but the other guy didn't say much of anything.
I'm gonna give them the eyeball, kind of see where they go.
They're walking more towards the crowd that's gathered around whoever is currently speaking about political change and culture and tradition.
I'm just gonna motion to Autumn. I'll be right back, and I'm gonna kind of move through the crowd after them.
You're gonna go through the crowd. It's gonna be a little bit difficult. People definitely notice you as you're moving through the crowd. You're in an unfriendly crowd. You know what I mean?
Just about every crowd for me.
Yeah. But you can certainly follow the guy. He's made his way up into the crowd, and he's just like cheering, standing there.
And this is the super humanist section.
Indeed.
I'll just listen to what he has to say for a while. See what these two fraggers are up to.
Well, they're not doing anything exciting. They're just getting overexcited about the speech and stuff.
Yeah, I'll just chill here for a little bit.
Throwback will eventually you get to Icefyre's place, and you're just going straight in to talk to Icefyre.
Yeah, I'll probably tell people that, like, even if it's not necessary, just like slightly boasting.
Oh, that Icefyre wants to speak to you?
Yeah, like, if I walk in and the first person I see, I'll let them know, like, I'm here to see Icefyre, and then just a few people that I might just pass along the way, I'll let them know that I'm going to see Icefyre. Like, it's just like awkward nerves, and just the task that's in my mind is just coming out of my lip.
Yeah, they let you on through, and Icefyre, beckons you into his office, and again, his office is dark and kind of brooding, and and the shades are pulled, and it's just a low lit office of his.
Instinctually rub the side of my neck as if to see if I've been bitten by a vampire.
You do not find any teeth marks. Icefyre says, "Sit down, sit down."
I am in a chair.
Throwback.
Yeah, boss.
Well, so you remember the arrangement that we have?
Yes.
Why don't you tell me about things that have been going on? And he seems to just start fiddling with things as he's listening.
Yeah, I was actually about to try to get a hold of you. So it's kind of funny when, he called and said that you wanted to see me. So it worked out, and that I didn't have to actually call you at that point because
He
I was
slowly
already.
smiles as you're saying this, and he says, "Of course, of course."
It's like you read my mind. So we've been busy.
Yes.
We and I like Throwback like kind of like leans in and like starts to whisper a little bit, like not like super quietly, but just he's suddenly talking quieter, and he'll say, "We were the ones that did it."
He smiles again and then blinks very slowly, and he says, "You're talking about the blue data job?"
That was us.
Yeah. I was actually worried that you might say that.
Oh?
Yeah. I'm concerned about potential noise that might be coming, that might, come back to our organization here.
Oh, I didn't drive the SUV.
Okay. Yes, that's true. I mean, I guess that's a good point. I certainly appreciate that, not flashing, gang colors around a job that you do.
Yeah, I took off all sorts of the stuff that I normally wear. So I mean, they couldn't have told. They wouldn't have figured out who I was. I looked like a cleaning crew guy.
As I said, I have to be concerned about high profile things happening that could come back to us. But I'm trusting. I trust that you are taking precautions. Just things that I want to be concerned about. Where did you get this job?
I think Throwback answers very literally, and I forget the name of Z-Trip's bar. Do you have that offhand?
His organization is just called Neon Discord.
Is that the name of the club that they hang out in?
The club that they hang out doesn't really have a name.
Okay, Throwback says the place doesn't really have a name, but it's a club.
Maybe I should be more specific. Who employed you?
Oh, it kind of like takes a deep breath and says, his name is Z-Trip.
Okay. Fine. Thank you. I'd like to know a little bit about. There's a drone rigger that you work with, correct? And he actually holds his hand up for a moment. He says, "Hold that thought," and he presses a button, and then speaks into it under his breath. And then a moment later, a man comes into the room, and you recognize him as the elf that you saw as you left the last meeting that you had with Icefyre. He's got real punk looking leathers on and spiked studs in his jacket and kind of like real, but he's an elf, punkish looking like elf. And he comes in and sits down quietly off to the side and stares at the both of you. And he says, "Yes, I'm sorry. Tell me about, there's a drone rigger that you work with. Isn't that correct?"
Throwback nods, as if he's happy that he can answer that question. Yeah, that's payday.
Yes. Tell me about him.
He wears the same clothes a lot. He's got, let's see, Party Girl is one of his drones, and there's a name for another one. Shoot, I can't remember it. He drives a Phoenix. It's really souped up. you'd think it's pretty cool actually. But he doesn't let us ride in it.
Do you know anything about his past? Where does he come from?
Oh gosh. And then out of character, I don't know what I know in character. I know what I know. I can't recall if it was Payday would have never said that out loud, did he?
It's possible. I don't know.
I don't think Payday really ever, again, this is all out of character. I don't think Payday ever really talks about his past to.
I don't recall him saying anything ever, but
like
I
I know.
Were you with me when we did the Scorch episode?
Like when he got his nickname?
No,
we
like
went
we
to
got
visit
drones.
Scorch.
Actually,
Oh,
no,
we were
Throwback
not-
wasn't
yeah, I was-
with you.
Oh,
I
well,
was
then
here, but I wasn't with you guys.
you might not be primed into how deep my ties in this area run.
Okay, but that explains why I have that knowledge in my mind. It is probably because I was listening, because I was at the table, I just wasn't in the scene. Okay, all right, jumping back in character then. Throwback will say he doesn't really talk about his past. He did mention the other day that he has no friends other than his agent, which is kind of indicative of. No, he doesn't say much about his past.
His agent, the elf, actually spoke up and said that his agent.
Oh, yeah, agent program. He runs it on his RCC.
What's this agent Does this agent program have a name?
We call her Eon.
And the elf sits back in his chair again.
Can I judge his intentions?
Go for it.
One little hit. Looking at the elf for just a moment.
Yeah, you can't really glean anything from him. He seems kind of like a very impenetrable, solid force face.
Yeah, I'll like look at him for a second after answering that, and he like leans back, and then I'll just kind of like nod and like give him like a half of a smile before like diverting my eyes and then looking back at Icefyre.
Okay, thank you, Throwback, for that information. And he looks over to the elf and nods, and then the elf kind of nods in an expectant kind of way, and he says, yes, I have another question for you, Throwback.
Yeah, shoot.
There's a mage that you work with, correct?
Stretch.
Yes, tell me about him.
Stretch is all right. He likes fire a lot. He was responsible for nearly burning down the Blue Data building. I'm sure you guys saw that. That was kind of wild.
He appears to be a powerful spellcaster, as far as you can tell, of course.
Yeah, there hasn't been a time that I've been around him where I haven't at least felt magic. He's definitely got a hand for the mojo.
Does he practice any other arcane arts other than simple spellcasting?
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, I'll like fiddle around in my pocket. Didn't you give us some preparations from that last job, Elric? What was one that I have in my pocket right now?
Would have been from an armor potion.
Like, sorry, like what was the actual like physical item? Was it just like a little glass vial?
Yeah, it was like a little glass vial with a liquid in it that's based off. It's vodka based, so it's kind of a clear liquid.
Yeah,
Long since inert.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
the magic's gone.
Not the vodka though.
Right.
Give it over.
I'll fish that out of my pocket and kind of hold it up and say, in fact, this was an armor spell from the Blue Data job. I never had to use it, and I guess I forgot to give it back.
Ah, interesting.
He does alchemy stuff.
Interesting. He holds out his hand. Do you mind?
I like look at it again and then kind of shrug, be like, yeah, sure.
How
And,
long
flip it
after? How long after the run is this?
Several days at least, maybe a week.
Oh, it wouldn't even have my signature on it.
Yeah, he holds it up and looks at it, and he shakes it a little bit between two fingers, and says, long since lost its power, but he tosses it back to Throwback. That's interesting to hear.
Rock is still good though. Yeah, he's really good with this stuff. He's always cooking them up in transit while we're on the way to places.
It probably occurs to Throwback now during this part of the conversation that, here and there in your, social interactions with other members of the Dragon's Gang, you've actually heard rumors that Icefyre has been considering and has potentially been looking into recruiting. This has never happened before, but people who are, talented in that way, magically.
Okay, we've got like an unspoken bias, right, against magical in general, or is that wrong?
What you're referring to is there's an implied rumor that the dragons are somehow connected to Humanus in some way.
Oh, that's right. That's what I was thinking of.
Which again would that alone by itself would still make it seem strange that there would be rumors that he was, this elf guy shows up and now there's rumors that he's looking into magic and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna make that realization. I'm gonna look at the elf and then like kind of lean towards Icefyre, and still with that kind of whispered voice. I'm like, do you want me to like introduce you to him? I've heard. I mean, there's stuff people. I mean, I can
I was actually going to send someone out to speak to him myself, but you know what? An introduction from someone that he knows would probably he'd probably be much more receptive to that, and I would definitely appreciate that, Throwback. And he looks very like got that look on his face like, yes, that would be very nice of you.
Yeah, Throwback gets super excited. Like, yeah, that's no problem at all. I can definitely do that. He did. He said he's going to be doing a thing that's going to take a lot of attention. But I mean, if it's like an emergency, I could definitely probably get a hold of him.
The sooner the better. Absolutely.
Okay, that's fine. Like shift awkwardly in my chair, starting to wonder, should I call him now? Like to myself.
Throwback, and he stands up, and so does the elf. And
I sit up straight.
He says, "Throwback, if you will do me that favor and set up, inform your mage friend Elric. You said his name was
Elric. Yeah, we call him Stretch.
Oh, I'm sorry. He would have said Stretch. He would have said Stretch. You said his name was
Stretch. His real name's Elric, but we call him Stretch.
Okay. If you would inform him that I'd like to speak to him about business matters.
Like a job?
Perhaps, yes.
Okay. Definitely. I think you'll like that.
The sooner the better, certainly.
I could do that.
Thank you, Throwback. You're doing a good job here.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And he gestures his hand towards the door as if for you that you are dismissed.
Yeah, my first motion is to like stretch my arm out. I think I'm getting a handshake, and then when I see it kind of like extend just sort of up, towards the door, I just kind of like awkwardly put it down and then start to wheel out.
Yes, he notices, but he doesn't skip a beat.
I'll just like give another glance at the elf, and then divert my eyes and head out into the hall. Probably let out a big breath that I was holding in once I get out.
The Humanus rally continues uneventfully. A lot of racist things are said, and nobody does any more to cause any trouble at the booth, any more than just like yelling stupid things and anything that nothing that can't be easily talked down by Wata and Leeroy.
Here I was hoping to get people arrested.
Yeah, I thought for sure Leeroy was going to get arrested.
Yo, if Wata if Wata wasn't Wata and wouldn't shut up, then that guy probably would have been punched. But Wata was just doing what she do.
Doing her job.
Yeah, but 4 days after the run, Elric had a certain thing he wanted to go do, but I'm not sure how things fall timing-wise.
Sure. What's up?
Well, he basically rested up for a few days and took care of himself and recovered from all his physical drain. So he's going to sort of steel himself and go over to Payday, where Payday's probably sleeping in the early afternoon.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. Kradrak. Eon, are you around? I put my goggles on and look around.
Yeah, she'll show up in AR.
Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you wake up Payday? There's somewhere I gotta go, and I wouldn't mind having a little Overwatch.
I'll see. She shows up over by Payday. How crashed is he?
I'd say that this is probably about when he would have probably been coming to anyway, so he's probably on the edge of waking up.
Payday.
Mm.
Stretch wants to know if you'd like to give him some Overwatch on a job of some sort.
A job?
I'm not sure if there's pay involved, but he'd asked for help.
All right.
She disappears and then comes over by Elric again. He'll be out soon.
Oh, but Eon,
Yes?
would you mind tagging along? You can sort of come along with someone and watch what they're doing, right? Without looking like you're there if someone tries to see you. Listen, I don't exactly know what I'm asking here, but I would like to have someone along with me through what I'm going to go. Not to do anything, but maybe to just be there and maybe ask for help if it's needed, but it's probably not going to.
She cocks her head to the side and looks confused.
This is, I guess this is, I just do a matrix search for moral support. That's kind of what I'm asking, I guess.
She kind of nods vaguely, and you see her eyes kind of like dart over to the side, as if she were like, just like you'd look if you were like, reaching over to start a search or something. So she's kind of like half listening. No, I'd be happy to help. Oh, moral support, of course, I can do that. I'm well suited to that.
Okay. So this shouldn't be dangerous in any sort of physical or legal sense, but it's a little bit crazy.
Payday comes walking out with, after finding the least smelly clothes that he has, his jacket in hand. The walls are really thin around here. What do you need?
I need a ride, and if you wouldn't mind just kind of keeping an eye out for things, making sure that... okay, I got to go visit my parents, and I'm not sure that there isn't going to be some sort of a tail or a watch on them. So if you're able to look and maybe clear the area to make sure there isn't some, people getting ready to pounce and jump out and arrest me if I show up and try to contact them, that'd be great. Or give me a warning if it looks like the cops are going to show up and, jump me while I'm in there. I just need to go talk to my parents. I won't ask you for this again.
I'm in a good mood today. I've taken my uppers. Let's do it.
Okay. You notice Elric is just kind of visibly shaking as he's getting into the car.
And great news, making significant progress on the trucks. Maybe I'll actually have those pieces of crap running soon enough.
Nice, yeah. Well, they're not really pieces of crap anymore, are they?
No, they are not. So, you direct me, we'll go.
I'll give you the address. It's a low-income housing area.
Huh, I thought your folks were rich.
They used to
Elric.
be. Yeah.
Only a couple of blocks to the east, there's a store that sells a high concentration of chamomile. I might recommend we stop there and you get a tincture that might help with your stress before you do what it is you're concerned about doing.
You make a good point there, Eon. But you got anything stronger, Payday?
You better believe it.
All right. Anything stronger that acts quickly, maybe?
Yeah, I got this right here. As I let my piloting program quickly take the wheel and start fumbling around my cyber deck and pull out a chip.
Oh, I don't have the right rigging for my comlink, do I?
Just pop her on in. Just a chip. Don't need a cyber deck or anything like that.
I pull out this rating 2 Sunny Emperor comlink. It does look like it has a little hot sim module attached to it.
Let's see here.
Oh yeah, and I got these trodes here. They're kind of built into this hat. I don't know.
You just put those on, and I'll get him set up with.
Just get it set up and ready to run, so I can trigger it if I need it. But I'm gonna try to do this clear-headed if I can, though. Maybe never mind. Let's just get there.
This will be perfect for you. You can even pop it right now. This is what we call a mood chip. It's essentially what they call a chill, BTL. Slot this, you'll be good.
Yeah, thanks. I'll keep it, and if I need it, I'll trigger it off. Actually, hey, I'll slot it here. And Eon, you keep an eye on things, and you be the one to trigger it if you think I need it.
I'm not sure if I'm terribly comfortable with that.
Yeah, she always hated when I was doing them, and that was before the run of independence.
That's exactly why I want you to be the one with the red button.
Oh, come on.
Now, am I keeping an eye out for the police, or a
No,
court,
no.
or a
That's Payday's
previous
job.
person, or your parents?
No. You're just, I don't know.
What do you have, a biomonitor, Stretch? She's not going to know.
Do
Just
I?
slot the damn chip.
No,
Is
I
this
can
a
certainly
biomonitor?
I can keep an eye on you.
I
No,
hold up a
you had-
micro transceiver.
Set it down and listen to me. I'm giving you moral support. I need to know what tasks you want me to complete before you go to speak with the people.
Just be there, okay? There to listen and
Keep an eye out for anyone? Do you want me to keep an eye out for the police? Do you want me to keep an eye out for your parents?
I guess it would be handy if you're able to see if anyone's spying on the conversation through the matrix or if there are any bugs in the room.
Of course.
Yeah, that's actually perfect. And then if it looks like I'm freaking out too much, trigger the chip for me. But as I said, I'll leave that judgment up to you. It's not something I would normally just take and do, and this is something that I'd rather do clear-headed. And we're overthinking this anyway. Just have you checked out the address yet? Is it clear, or are they, have you made sure there aren't any drones hanging out?
Dispatching my fly spies now.
I'm going to go ahead and conjure up a Force 6 fire spirit.
You really are paranoid sometimes, eh? And I thought I was paranoid.
I'm not announcing that I'm doing it.
I had like a hit squad out on me, and I'm not this paranoid.
That's 4 hits on the spirit.
You said it was 4-6?
Yep.
You got 1 net hit.
All right, good enough. I'm just going to have it be on standby. I can order it to assist me if necessary.
And I'll launch. Oh, sorry.
As we approach the area, I'm going to astrally perceive as well to make sure there aren't, mages in astral space getting ready to jump out.
And I will keep an eye out. Just tell me what you need me to roll.
Matrix perception test, it sounds like, is your job.
And I'll be doing some physical perception.
Drek, Elric says as you're starting to pull up. I'm going to text my parents and say, hey, I'm swinging by short notice. Are you home?
You get a response and said, yes, you're welcome anytime. You know you don't have to ask.
And that's
text back, okay, be there soon.
That's going to be 3 hits with physical perception with the 2 fly spies.
The area around here looks pretty clear. You don't see anything unusual.
Sounds good. Looks clear, big guy. See, right. And this is why we got you a street name. By the way, it wasn't just a poke at you. If people don't know your name, then the harder the chance is to track you back to anybody that you might love.
Yeah, I say as I take a deep breath and cast improved invisibility on myself at Force 5. All right, cap it out on my first try.
I got 1 whole hit on 11 dice for Matrix Perception.
You don't notice anything unusual in the Matrix.
And I look on the astral. Is there anything out of place? Do you want me to make a perception test?
Yes, please.
That's 3 hits.
Everything appears to be normal.
All right, I'll move up to the door and I'll trigger the doorbell.
It makes a pleasant ding dong, and your mother. Can you remind me what your parents' names are?
Oh, nuts! I don't have it written on my character sheet here.
I'm sorry. I should also say that
I should have looked that up. Sorry about that.
Ian's going to run silent.
Okay.
It's James and Carol, isn't it?
That sounds familiar.
As good names as any. All right. Well, Carol. Gosh, what is your last name again?
Jackson.
That's right, Daniel Jackson. Carol Jackson answers the door. Are you still invisible?
Yes.
And she looks and she says, "Hello?
Hey, it's me. Just go ahead and open the door all the way. I'm invisible, but I can't just walk through walls.
She seems startled at first. Elric, is that you?
Yeah, it's me, Elric.
Ah,
Recognize my voice?
I don't. That always makes me uneasy when you play this trick.
Just try to act normal and just open the door a little bit wider and then close it, please.
She opens the door. She says, "I don't know what all this is about."
If I get inside, I'll walk over and close the blinds while I'm still invisible, and then I'll drop the spell. All right, good. Is Dad home?
She closes the door. She says, "James, Elric's here. What is all this about, Elric, with the invisibility and the blinds and making me? What's going on?"
Just wait till Dad gets here.
And you haven't been over here in a long time.
Yeah, I'm about to talk about that. Elric's sort of just standing there looking jittery. Starts to pace back and forth.
We were hoping that now that our son was back in town, we might be able to have some family dinners every once in a while.
I look around. Did my dad get there yet?
He comes in and he says, "It's Elric here. Elric, boy. It's good to see you, son."
Good to see you too.
He gives you a hug.
Give him a hug. Okay, all right, sit down.
Is your mother giving you a hard time about not showing? Don't listen to her. I told her you've got things that are going on. You're also dealing with your sister, all that mess. I told her give him his space.
That's part I want to talk about. So, they got Pillar up on murder charges, right? For burning up a bunch of boys out in the country.
Yes.
Well, those boys had orcs there. Orcs they'd enslaved. They were using them in these fighting pit matches, reducing them to something less than metahuman. Pillar, she got him out of there. She didn't hurt anybody.
Slow down, Elric. How do you know all this?
I was there too. I burned them. Not all of them. Hold on, it's not making any sense. Listen, I'm a shadow runner. I came back in town. I left as technology. My sin's been burned. You shouldn't ask about me. You shouldn't look for me. As far as the system is concerned, I don't exist, and that's the way I want it. That's the way it's got to be. I made some powerful enemies when I rescued those orcs, and they struck back by taking Pillar. But she didn't do any of it except for the helping and rescuing. And I wasn't the only one. We have friends with guns and stuff, but that thing with blue data, flames all over the place? I just jerk at myself with my thumb as if to gesture me. And I just start laying out everything that's been going on, trying to talk really, really fast through their shock so they can't get a word in and interrupt me and stop me. And I basically try to tell them everything.
After you're getting into a lot of it, your mother stops and just tries to stop you a couple of times and eventually just yells and says, "Elric, just stop. I can't take this. What are you talking about? This is not true." And she says, "I don't know why you think you need to come in here talk about this. What is going on?"
What's going on is that I came back here after as technology to help Pillar out and watch her back. I failed. She's in jail because of me, because of what I did. And I thought I was doing the right thing. I don't know. I probably would do it all over again. See what those animals did to those women? They deserved to die. They deserved to burn, but the blowback came down on Pillar. It should have been me. But I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to make this right, and I'm going to make the people who did this pay. None of this is going down anymore, and they are going to rue the day they struck down on Pillar.
Son, what are you talking about? You're talking about murder? You're talking about killing people?
Can I do something, Bobby?
Yeah.
Is there a way that I can edit this chip to reduce its effectiveness by half?
Oh, geez.
Like an edit file or some such? Well, it's not a file, though, is it?
No.
Somewhere in there's a file.
I don't think so.
This is essentially like a pre-programmed scene that it has its emotional gain cranked up to
basically,
the roof.
I basically just want to like damp it down, basically diluting the medicine a little.
I don't think so. I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Murder?
Resume.
It's bound to be part of it. But the real goal is getting Pillar out of there free and clear. There's no way that's going to happen any kind of legal way. Anyway, I got powerful enemies. I'm already in the thick of it. It might come down on you. You should disavow any knowledge of me. Make no inquiries. I fish into my coat and pull out a certified cred stick and kind of set it down on the coffee table. That's $5,000 certified, free and clear money. You stash it in case you need it. Might not be a bad idea to just relocate though. But if anybody comes looking for me, you know that's trouble. You watch for it. You can call me for help if you need to. Here's a comm number. I give him a comm number for just the comm link I use as a Shadowrunner. It's not tied to my real SIN or anything. Like doesn't even exist anymore. Anyway, I'm sorry to put you all through this, and I'm really sorry for getting Pillar into this mess. And I guess maybe I'll come and talk to you when this is all over. But this is probably goodbye, and thank you. And I go to turn toward the door.
And he stands up. Your father stands up, and he picks up the cred stick, and he says, "What is this? What? You're sorry? You come in here. It hasn't been a month and a half since your sister is arrested, and you come in talking about this, and you think, I don't know what you think we're supposed to say to this." And he throws the cred stick at you, and he says, "You can't just come in here and talk to us like this."
I turn around and say, "Well, it's the truth. It's all true, okay? I don't know what else to say, and I can't have you being targeted because of what I have to do and because of what I've done. These people are evil. I don't even think they're people."
Your mother begins sobbing into your father's like chest, and he holds her and he says, "I don't even know who I'm looking at anymore."
And I look at him, and for one of the first times, the sort of I have the sort of hermetic equivalent of a shamanic mask come up with the firebringer. And as I look at it, my eyes sort of smolder as if there's flames replacing where my eyeballs were. And I say, "No, you don't." And I go out and slam the door, leaving the cred stick behind on the carpet. And just run like hell for the GMC Phoenix.
Oh, frag. How did he do, Eon?
Drive.
Get in!
I go leaping and say, drive!
Oh, what happened as I'm speeding away?
As soon as Elric's seatbelt clicks into place, I activate the tip.
I guess I didn't really know what to do. I felt really bad, so I just I said goodbye and I left. So yeah, they're better off now without me. It's good. Wow, this chip.
Right? What did I tell you?
Oh, I need some more of these.
No, you do not. But it'll do for now.
This is good. I feel
Chill.
calm.
Right.
Oh. Would you actually believe I was having suicidal thoughts a few moments ago?
Not anymore.
Right.
Just don't do them too much. Not like what I did.
You want to get some barbecue?
Absolutely. Like you'd never ask.
Yeah, I'm kind of hungry.
Hey, thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed it. This show would really not be possible without the generous support of all of our listeners helping us out. So if you like what we do here and you want to help keep the Shadowcasters Network going, then consider helping us out. We got a fundraiser going on now. It's going to be going through Gen Con in mid-August. Head on over to the Shadowcasters website, shadowcasters.network. Check out the fundraiser on the widget sidebar right there. And consider helping us out. Any amount helps, but if you want to check out the perks that we're offering, we have a small handful that have to do with some things that are coming in the future. So check that out. Like I said, any amount really helps us out, and hopefully we can keep things going for the first year. Thank you very, very much for helping. There are several NPCs and organizations which were provided by patrons of Complex Action early on in the development of the actual plane. In this episode, the featured ones were Icefyre and the Dragon's Gang, which were submitted by Robert McPherson. Thank you very much for your support. The character art seen on our YouTube page and various other social media places was done by Ethan Brewerton. Check out his awesome Shadowrun artwork at esbrewerton.com. The background music in this episode is brought to you by Prism Shard. To hear more of his Shadowrun-inspired music, head on over to soundcloud.com/prism-shard and give him some love. The Topps Company Inc. has sole ownership of the names, logo, artwork, marks, photographs, sounds, audio, video, and or any proprietary material used in connection with the game Shadowrun. The Topps Company Inc. has granted permission to Complex Action to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and or any proprietary materials for promotional and informational purposes on its websites, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with Complex Action in any official capacity whatsoever.